like that, Jack, we're back with another video. You are here with your elder-in-chief, Karima McGee. Yeah, baby. We're back. If anything in today's video resonates with your spirit, I want you to do me a favor, please. If it resonates with you, penetrates and hits you like, whoa, that's a nugget. If it makes you want to pick up the phone call and call your girlfriends and let them know what you just learned. If it makes you want to post something on TikTok or Instagram, I'm going to ask that you do me a favor. Please share where you got the information. When you receive something that's good and you return the favor, the universe recognizes that, all right? It recognizes that. So I'm going to ask that if you get something, give something in return. It's the laws of nature. When you go against the laws of nature, that's a whole different situation. But I'm gonna ask that if anything resonates with you, it penetrates, it shifts your mindset just a little bit, it shakes you up, it makes you think, it rattles you a little bit. I'm gonna ask that you put back the energy that you received by dropping in the comments, liking, commenting, and or sharing. Share Elder Eden with the world and say, here, this is Hut Wisdom. Have you ever heard of Hut Wisdom? You got to hear this perspective. It's a Hut Wisdom perspective. Let the folks know where you got it from, darling. All right? That way we can keep the legacy of Elder Eden going long after I'm gone from this planet, all right? The only way to do that is to make sure that the information is out there and that they know where it came from. You hear me? All right. Now that we got that out the way, I want to talk about desperation. All right. And let's not act like you ain't never been desperate before, okay? Because all of us have been through that period. Probably we didn't deem it as that. We didn't stamp it as that. We probably didn't even know that that's what it is or what it was. All right. But I want to teach you something about the power of showing up. I think we talked about this before, or I alluded to this, how when a sauna shows up, it doesn't matter whether or not you're a wife, a girlfriend, who doesn't matter who you are. You could be the Pope. A sauna is going to command the room simply by just showing up. And a lot of people thought that I meant as, it's her beauty. No, baby, it's her frequency. Let me go deeper. All right? Desperation has a frequency. Men can smell it a mile away, and women can smell it a mile away. It has a frequency, which also means it has a smell. All right? Have you ever smelled what desperation, what it smells like? Have you sniffed desperation from the armpits of a man or woman before? Perhaps you didn't know that's what it was, but I'm going to teach you something today. Remember, I told you I got a couple of videos that we're dropping, dropping some real gems until we get our real video to drop up a return. We got 4 more videos, all right? This is one of the 4, so 3 more after this before we drop it. But I want you to know, I want you to learn something today. So get a pen, get some paper, and write this down. I was on TikTok minding my restricted business. Yes. My TikTok is restricted. I have it on restricted mode. So whenever I logged in, it knows exactly the kind of content I want. In my settings, I went there. I put keywords of things that I don't want to see on my timeline. All right. Violence of any kind, fighting of any kind. I have my TikTok restricted because you all know how I feel about anything that we take in through the eardrum and or the eyes. What we consume, it all matters. And on my restricted minding my business TikTok, I'm scrolling and somehow I fell down the rabbit hole of 304 Miami and then 304 Houston. Honey girl, I was 12 videos in and I could not stop. I was consuming that content like I had just coming off of a fast and I was hungry. All right? And if you know me, you know that I'm a natural researcher. I don't want to know what nobody else has told me. I want to find out for myself. And so, honey, I was trapped, all right, in 304 world. And then I wanted to understand, what is this all about? And whether or not we are fit to mate with. Those things are what Elder Eden calls primal instincts, right? We always talk about primal instincts, and that's why this this knowledge is extremely important, is because we do not downplay the primal instincts that we still have. All right, some of us still possess the Neanderthal gene, but from a human perspective, we know that there's some things that are still primal, and we don't shy away from that. So when you show up to a place and you're like, I'm going to find me a rich man, honey, I'm going to get me a bag. And that is your motivating, that's the reason why you're there. You're there specifically to find that. I'm going to ask that you add this hut wisdom to your bag. Full autonomy to live life as you feel. But I want you to add a little bit of hut wisdom. All right? Hut wisdom. The journey of a woman on her asanahood journey, the journey itself, all right? Every stage of her life, she's going to be vibrating at a certain frequency. As she refines herself, heals up certain areas of her life, that newness becomes who she is, all right? She's not putting that on. It's not something that she is masking. It's who she is. So as my mother would say, a woman's going to get what her hands calls for. It's not, the clothes that makes the woman. It's the woman that makes the clothes. These are all things that my mother would say growing up, and now I get it. You cannot attract what you not already are, frequency-wise. So if you go to a shop and you say, or you go to an area and say, I'm going to make sure that I'm in rich areas only. I'm going to make sure that I get with rich men only. If that is your reason for existing, then so be it. But I need you to understand that, darling, you're operating at a frequency. And if you are vibrating at a frequency of desperation, it can be felt. You don't think? And let me tell you what the frequency of desperation will pick up. Users and abusers. So instead of seeing you as a beautiful asana, a beautiful woman, what they'll end up seeing you as a service worker. You'll be reduced to a service worker. Provide a service and be gone. Yeah, it's a frequency. Desperation is a frequency, right? Remember in one of my videos, I don't recall what I named it, but I mentioned that those who will become a wife have already been a wife. They were a wife before they actually became a wife. That's a frequency, right? If you want to be a mother, that's a frequency, right? You're already a mother before you're a mother. You're already that thing before that thing actually happens. So if you want to be married to a rich man, right? If that is your primary goal, I mean, you're not even looking at whether or not he's healthy, whether or not he's sane, whether or not he's generous. You're not looking at any of those other things except for the fact that he's wealthy. Then that too is operating at a frequency. When you're going to these places, right, that they suggest, get dressed up, look your best, show up at these places, sit at the bar, and you're waiting for them to acknowledge you. I'm going to ask that you add this little bit of hut wisdom to your bag. It's in you already. In you already. There is no need for you to go fishing for that thing. Just showing up, making sure that you just pop up at a place that you've never been in before, you're not a member of. If your desire is to find someone who's generous, someone who improves your life, if that's what you want, like I said earlier, you have full autonomy to live life as you please, but you're not going to get there from the desperate place. You don't get there from desperation. How you get there is develop a passion, find a cause, join organizations where you can give back. Find some place that makes you feel alive again. Find a sport. Have you ever wanted to be a dancer, a ballerina, play tennis, pickleball even? Do you play pickleball? Learn how to golf. Find something that gives you passion and joy and literally sink your teeth in it. Become a part of some sort of organization and do it well. And from there is how you get there. It's not just showing up at a bar someday and putting on some MAC lipstick, darling. That's not the energy that you really want for the long haul. At some point, you're going to tap out and you find yourself trying to change your life when you realize that that life wasn't really about nothing. You can see it in pop culture. There are a lot of young women who are changing and going straight to religion because they realize that that life wasn't fruitful. It's not sustainable. And I can't tell you what's sustainable for you, but what I can tell you is that if you have a special destination you want to get to, be it already. Be it already. It's all about frequency. You're going to get what your hands calls for. Until next time, you already know what it is. Be empowered, be inspired, and be well.